I'm out here at one of our rice fields, and this has been recently flooded. And out of curiosity, I'm going to do a Brix test on some of the rice. So I've just pulled up a little bit here, and I'm just going to use the simple $20 refractometer rather than one of the expensive ones, because I mean, I'm not trying to get lab quality results here. I mean, I don't need to necessarily know if it's 4.1 versus 4.2. I'd like to know whether it's 4 or 6 or 8 or whatever. So I'm just kind of getting used to doing this a little bit more often, and this is just, again, a field level test. So I'm just going to take a few. Now, as far as what the rice looks like, I'll literally just pull this up. We've got a few spots here. I'm not sure exactly what that would be called, whether that would be considered a nutrient deficiency or a disease or something of that nature. But I am going to take a few here, and I don't have any way to really macerate it a whole lot. I may try to, let's see if I can kind of cut. I'm going to try to cut some of these in some smaller pieces just on the plastic of the tailgate. Kind of like the way you do chives, you know, green onions or chives. Make some smaller pieces. It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not right at noon, but the sun is up. It's not real cloudy at the moment. It was overcast depending on where you're at. Now I've got a stainless steel metal garlic press, and I'm going to take these and see if I can get a drop. I always clean this right before I put it away, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a drop, if this is wet enough to get a drop or not. Have to get some more put in there. This is a good learning experience for me to try to figure out in the field for this kind of material how much I'll need and how to process it to be able to get a sample. I think it's gonna end what drop I got. Wow, I'm getting maybe 4. 4.5. I don't know if I'll be able to get this where you can see it. If so, I'll get a still frame. Okay, so maybe 4.5. So here's one of the curious things about this. Hang on. I brought some Chem wipes to be able to clean between samples. Listening to Dr. Dykstra, he refers in 2 or 3 of his talks about, you know, how to raise bricks and stuff. And of course, if you know what raises bricks, then you also know what lowers bricks and yada yada. But he's mentioned multiple times that non-crops, you know, so if 10 or 20% of the plants on earth are considered crops, then 80 or more percent are not crops, and they tend to have much higher bricks. Okay, I don't know. By the way, this is here's the material that was crushed down. So even though that rice was sitting in water, it's pretty dry and it's hard to get the sap out. I'm sure I could macerate it in some way and do better. But anyway, if the non-crop plants have higher bricks, well, I should be able to test that. So on the other side of this little field road I'm at, there are trees, bushes, all kinds of stuff. So I may do some quick samples of some of that material as well. Okay, I'm not really sure exactly what this is. It was growing over there. It is not smooth on the top, a little bit rough on the top, a little bit rougher on the bottom. You do see some damage, some insect damage on some of the leaves. So let's see if I can get a Brix on this and see what it comes out, and see if it corresponds to his claims of insect damage as compared to Brix levels. Okay, I'm going to cut the stems off. And likewise, I'm going to kind of cut some small pieces to try to be able to get some of the sap or the juice out easier than if I just wadded it up like a plug of tobacco. Okay, so we've got it kind of chopped up. Open up, see if I can get a couple of drops. Seem to have a couple drops there. I'm getting even less. I mean, I got next to nothing. Maybe about a 1 or a 2 at most. You can actually focus this thing a little bit and get better readings. I mean, I'm getting nothing on that. I mean, it did not even register. Let me see if I can get another drop. Yep. It's dried out. I got what I can out of that one. Now, it did have more damage than the rice did. But it is hot out here today. I think I need a thing of toothpicks to be able to clear out the holes. It's like a straw. Yeah, I may need a little battery-powered blender to be able to get more material, kind of blend it to macerate it out. Let's try a different plant. This is another kind of grass that was growing. It's got some really hairy stuff on it. Not sure what kind of grass it is. But what the hell? Let's give it a try. Try to do a lot smaller pieces. I need to bring a cutting board out because I'm probably going to end up cutting this plastic up too much. I don't need to use it as a cutting board. I can see where if I was going to do this routinely, obviously I need to have my indoor lab, make it more comfortable. Or if I was going to be going out in the field that much, an outdoor lab of some kind, maybe a trailer. It's got air conditioning and stuff. Okay, got it diced up as if it was chives. Pack it in there as much as I can before I squeeze it. Let's see if I can get a drop. Got a drop on there, so you feel. Got about a 2.5 to 3. Maybe a 3 at best. Okay, I got some tree leaves, and one of them's got a little bit of a spot on it. The rest of them don't. They are pretty much from the tips of the limbs, so they're not close to the trunk. Let's see if I can organize these where I can get the stems off. Stems off before for the most part. Almost forgot to clean that out before I start stuffing it again. Again, this is not grass, this is tree leaves. But on an area that hasn't been flooded or anything. I can't get a drop of sap out of it. So I need to find, I'm gonna have to get a some way to macerate these a lot better in the future. But the rice that I did do was pretty poor.